And welcome to another Pokemon Go video. So jumping straight into Go Battle League. Now, as you can see, rank 8 and sitting at 2145, so not too bad. I have recorded all of the matches up until this point, so I'll link to that playlist now so you can go and check that out. So Great League is now over, thankfully. I'm really weak at Great League. It's definitely my worst of the 3 leagues. So we're jumping into Ultra League today. So I have been trying to think about what to use and just have no idea what is going to be the meta. So I think, obviously that's a party that I used last time. I think the weakness with that really is double weakness to rock there for Charizard. However, it does absolutely monster the Registeels, and so with a season under the belt and pre-season, more people probably put the resources in to get Registeels in this league, so it may be worth keeping, but at this point I'm going to swap it up. So I'm actually going to have a fairly budget team, and I'm going to throw Steelix in there. So I'm going to lead with Alolan Muk because I think a lot of people will still be running Giratina, and a lot of people will be running the Cressella as well. So I think that's a good counter for both of those. And then Swampert in the back for Registeel, and the fire types, and swapping in for fairies as well. So I'll use the Swampert more as a safe swap, because I don't think there's going to be huge amounts of grass in the Ultra League, but I mean, we'll find out. So I think the only thing you can do is not worry too much about your team. Just jump in, see what you come up against, and then go from there. So this first one, I mean, could go anywhere, and we might as well jump in and get things started, and hopefully they go all right, but let's find out. So looking for a match, got that match there, so 2138, so they're just a little bit below me, so interesting. Let's see what we get on the lead, and it's an Armored Mewtwo, which is fairly standard, so let's see what they switch this out to. So they've switched it into the Articuno there, so what I'm going to do is throw the Dark Pulse. I'm going to let them throw their charge move as well, and then I'll swap into Steelix. So it won't shield this. It's going to be probably the Icy Wind, which is absolutely fine. And then I'll swap into Steelix because obviously Steelix has 0 attack anyway. Oh, and I was hoping I could get to the crunch first, but I can't, so that's absolutely fine. So Icy Wind, going to drop my attack a bit there, that's fine. So what I will do is throw the crunch, because I don't want it to get to a second Icy Wind before I can throw a charge move, because they'll be then less inclined to shield that up. So now they're down shields, which is perfect for me. Let's see. So they're going to Icy Wind me again, which is fine. I'll let this go. The debuffs on this are brutal, but so I'm going to throw that charge move straight away, just because I want to put some damage on. I don't know if this is going to do much damage. Wow, that does next to nothing. So what I'm going to do is let this go, and then come back in with the Alolan Muk. So let's see what they do here, and then I'll be able to get to the Dark Pulse before they can, so happy days. So that should charge, it should be enough to take it out, and it is. And let's see what they come in with. So they've got their own Alolan Muk there. So what I should have done there is switch into the Swampert. So what I'm going to do is charge this up. So I will shield this first attack from it. So I shield this up, and then I swap into the Alolan So I swap into my Alolan. Oh, so they got to that really quickly. Interesting. That's fine. So I expect them to probably switch out now. Yeah, so they're going to switch out. So I'm going to just start throwing the Hydro Cannons here. And we'll see how we go. So hopefully I'll be... so that's interesting. So if I can get to another one, I'll be pretty happy before they can get to their charge move, and I can. So that works out absolutely perfectly for me there. Let's see. So the question is, do I shield this up? So I think I'm going to shield this up, and let's see what we can do here. So let's see if we can get to another one before they charge us Fast Move Farmers down, and we can, so that works out perfect. And also it'll be interesting to see what, so they're going to get a little bit of energy built up on the, so I don't want them to get energy on the so this is going to be interesting. So what I might do, if I can get to my Dark Pulse first, and I can, so that works out perfectly. So I'll probably let this go down now. Oh, I don't know. Let's see how much damage how much health I've got left. So they've not got much health left. So obviously I have to let this go down. My bad. My shields are down, so let's see. So this is going to be really close here. Oh wow, so they managed to save up energy for 2 Dark Pulses there. Interesting. I'll have to check that. I thought they used all their energy before they swapped the Alolan Muk out. So that's really interesting actually. So I need to check that out. So the Icy Wind there, really not ideal for me, but I mean, it is what it is. So possibly what I should have done, trying to think, no. So they managed to take switch advantage back there because obviously they weren't running the Giratina, but that's fine. So let's jump in. I'll use the same team. So unfortunately, there's... First Ultra League match is a loss, but you need to get used to it. So Armored Mewtwo. So that's a decent start for me. So let's see. So I may or may not switch out of this. So it depends what they switch into. Just because I do have the so they're not switching. So that's interesting. So I'm not going to shield that up. Let's see what they're throwing. So throwing the Dragon Claw, which is not going to do a huge amount of damage. So now I'm going to... So they don't look like they're switching out of this match. So I assume they must have something else weak to it in the back. So probably running a Corsola in the back as well. So I'm not going to shield this either. I'll let this come through. And then I'm going to get a few extra, and then I'll throw my Dragon Pulse, if it will ever let me. Let's see if I get a shield this time. So I fully expect to get a shield here, so I have managed to get the shield, which is fine. So I will do the same, because I do want to win switch advantage. And I'll be able to get to another charge move before they can, if it ever loads. So I'll go an extra one there, and it lagged out, and so instead of me throwing my charge move, they got to throw theirs. This lag is brutal. So let's do an extra move, and let's throw the Dark Pulse now, because I just need to win this matchup. So they've got shield advantage now, which is really unfortunate for me, but I mean, it is what it is. So they'll let that go down, and let's see. So I'm going to throw my own Dark Pulse here, so I might as well just burn all this energy. They're going to have to charge me to take me out here, because so thankfully I did throw that straight away, because now they're obviously charging, so no Protect Shields there. So the question, oh wow, so that didn't even take me out, so happy days. I'll be able to get to my, no I won't be able to get to my Dark Pulse, because it loves to lag me out there. So what I'll do is I'll jump in with the Swampert here. So this will be really interesting to see what they do. So let's just throw this Hydro Cannon. Obviously the Earthquake is the way to go, so the Earthquake will one-shot it, but the Hydro Cannon is just going to do enough damage to really put the pressure on. So I will just hopefully be able to farm this down. I need to watch how many fast moves it's got. So the Dark Pulse is going to do a lot of damage. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm just going to swap out, which would have been absolutely perfect, but it didn't let me do it. So this may take me out here. Oh, so that's really close. So let's see what comes out. So I'm really hoping for something that's... so I've accidentally gone for... Yeah, so this is bad. Because they're not going to shield this up. It looks like it's a Venusaur in the back. And I've managed to keep the shield. So this is going to be okay for me. Obviously the steel typing... Yeah, so this is not looking good for them. Not looking good for them at all. So I should be, I'll be resisting absolutely everything that they throw at me. So it should be the Frenzy Plant, and they'll do, oh wow, okay, so neutral damage actually, so not resisting. I thought I was going to resist, but it looks like, so the ground typing of Steelix is weak to, the Frenzy Plant, so weak to grass, and then steel typing is obviously resisting the grass, so neutral damage there. So this is going to take me really, really close. So for another Frenzy Plant, and then can I get to the Crunch before they can charge me down? I can. The question is this going to do enough damage? Let's find out. So no, it is not going to do enough damage, and they're going to take me out. So that's really unfortunate. But again, so grass in the back. So staying in with the Giratina there and getting all that lag on the Giratina is probably what cost me. And I should have just thrown those charge moves straight away. So, yeah, you live and you learn. So, next time I face a Giratina off the start. So, this is okay for me. So, they'll probably drop the superpower and then get out of there, to be honest. Let's find out what they do. So, I'm just going to go straight up Dark. Actually, I'm going to let them go first. So it'll be interesting to see whether they drop the superpower and get out. So I'm going to shield this up because I think they... Oh, so nice little bit of bait there. So let's just go throw this Dark Pulse. So I will go... yeah, so the question is, do I double shield this? So they've shielded that. So I would suggest that I'm going to let this one go. So even if it is the superpower, let it go. I'm really hoping for another Rock Slide, which it is, so that's fantastic for me. Let's just throw the Dark Pulse, and we'll race to the next one. So that's done a whole lot of damage there. I should hopefully... So this could very well be the superpower. Let's find out. Oh no, so another Rock Slide, so that works out okay for me. So I'm going to get my Dark Pulse in, so they can either choose to go down in shields or lose the lose switch advantage. So let's see what they do. So so that's interesting. So I've decided to go with the loss of switch there. So no, loss of shield. So I think what I'm going to do is throw out my... so I'm not going to shield this up, so it possibly will be a superpower, which is going to be really unfortunate for me. Yeah, so it is. But that's fine. I will just charge this up. So I'm not going to shield the next superpower either. Charge this up and... yeah, so that's almost taken me out there, so that's really brutal. So if I can charge it down, so thankfully I can. Let's see what comes out. So it is, so this is not good because obviously they're now going to switch this out. So, I mean, that still works out okay for me because I can still crunch and it's still going to do a lot of damage. So I will shield whatever the charge move is here because... Oh, so that's not doing as much damage as I would have hoped. So the question is, do I shield this up being a Focus Blast, or do I think it's the Psystrike bait? I'm going to let it go. Yep, so it is just the Psystrike, so that's good. Absolutely perfect for me there. So I will just throw the next Crunch. So I think the next one is definitely going to be the Focus Blast, if they've got it. Just because that's it. They've got one more chance to charge here, and if they don't throw the Focus Blast here, they probably won't get to another one. So let's find out. Oh, it's just the Psystrike as well, so that's interesting. So what I'm actually going to do here is switch into... Oh, so... really interesting here. So I've thrown the Earthquake, which will do more damage. So that's going to almost take it out there. And then I'm going to... Oh, so this is going to be really interesting to see. So how do I play this? So Shadow Sneak's going to do a little bit of damage, not much damage. So I'm going to throw a couple more and then throw my Crunch. So Crunch at this range should KO, and I'm really hoping that I can get to another one for... Oh, so managed to charge it down. So let's see how we're going. So I can throw straight into the next Crunch when the Mewtwo comes out. And finally, I'll have a win on the board. So it only took 3 games, but managed to get the win on the board. So a bit of a bad start for me. Baited with the first Rock Slide. So what I was expecting them to do was to superpower me and get out of there, but obviously they had nothing in the back that could have handled the Alolan Muk, so that's why they had to stay in. So I really need to start thinking about that as well, and we'll jump straight into the next one and see how we go. So I'm going to run again the same line. So far, to be completely honest, Swampert's been useless, absolutely useless. So I don't know whether it's worth switching that one out. So this is a good lead for me, so let's see what they do here. So they should switch this out. If they don't switch this out, they've clearly got something in the back that's weak to it. So what I might do is shield this up, because if they've got weakness in the back to the Alolan Muk, I want to keep that. So if it's so the previous team that I had was running, so I'm just going to go straight up Dragon Pulses here, Dark Pulses, sorry, because if I over farm, then what happened last time was they got to the moves before me. So I am just going to shield. I'll shield this up. I want to take this out, and I don't mind going down in shield. So what have they swapped to now? So they've swapped to... Oh, so this is probably not good for me. They're going to be able to get to the Hydro Cannons first. They'll be able to get to 2, and that'll take me out, I would imagine. So let's find out. So it would be really nice to be able to attack right now. Really would like to be attacking. Okay, so very unhappy with what's just happened, as you'd probably be able to tell, and would probably feel the same. So instead of getting a Hydro, do I get 1 off? At least I got 1. So that's really bad for me. Really, really bad. So, yeah. So this is pretty much GG's right now. Let's jump in and throw the Dark Pulse. So they'll probably shield this one up, which would be the smart play. And then once I... Yeah, so they're going to Hydro Cannon me here, and this is just going to take out my whole team. So really bad that Yeah, so that just is really, really annoying. So they're going to be super effective on both of their charge moves. Can I get to my crunch first? Probably not. And then this is going to do probably half to 3. Oh, it's the earthquake. So, okay, so let's crunch now, if it will ever let me. So this lag, so there was the update yesterday. So dealing, and they've did an absolutely amazing swap there. So that's really brutal. Didn't even see the swap. So that's GG's. Didn't even get to see their third Pokemon. So the Giratina's doing absolutely nothing for me there. So Giratina is going. Not helping at all. And so I will definitely swap out the Giratina, and we'll, not Giratina, swap out the Swampert and probably for a Giratina. So I might just do that now in this last match, because it's not giving me anything. So let's jump in and throw the Giratina in last. So to be completely honest, neither is really the Steelix. The Steelix isn't really giving me much either. And I think the problem with Steelix is if I'm not getting switch locked in against the... So this is an alright one for me here, so they'll probably switch out of this. So let's see. So now's probably the time when I want the... So this is going to be really interesting here. So let's... Just going to go straight up Dragon Claws. So no shield necessary here. It'll be the Hydro, I imagine. Oh, so it's Earthquake. Okay, so straight up Earthquake. I really need to be able to get these moves down a little bit better. And so this is not... Okay, so I remembered Giratina being a little bit better than this. Let's find out. So, yeah. I don't really know what's the play here. So I think I'm going to shield up whatever this is and then fast move farm down. I have to commit to the farm down. So this is possibly going to be... So the Hydro, and then they're going to double Hydro here. Yeah, so double Hydro here. So I'll let that go. I'm really hoping it's not the Earthquake. If it's the Earthquake, then I'm KO'd. If it's just the Hydro, which it is, so happy days, I'll be able to... So they've got the Fighter here, so that's really interesting. So I will just throw the Dragon Claws. Okay, so this is, yeah, really quite bad for me. If I can get to another Dragon Claw, that's going to really be helpful. So I don't know what they're exactly saving their shields for. So they finally used the shield there. So the question is, what do I throw out here? So I'm going to throw out my Steelix, which is a really poor move on my part. I am going to shield this up, which is ridiculous. Oh, and it's just the acid spray. Oh, that's brutal. So let's just get the go for the crunch here. I'm hoping to get a second shield. I probably should have... Yeah, so I've got the shield there, so happy days. And I need to be able to... Oof, so this is going to be... It's probably taking me out. Imagine it's going to be... Oh, it's a foul play. So, oh, I might be able to get there. I can't get there. So, so they're going to acid spray me here, which is brutal, because that's not what I want against the... So I'm going to have to... What am I going to do here? Commit to farming down. So I didn't quite hold my nerve there, just because I don't want them to get another acid spray or do more chip damage. So I will just throw that out, and so now I've got the Venusaur to deal with. So let's throw the Sludge Wave and see how we go. So I'm really hoping So this is going to do a whole lot of neutral damage, and then I've got to get to the Dark Pulse. So they'll be able to get to at least one Frenzy Plant. It shouldn't take me out at this range because it's resisted, but I don't know whether they've charged enough to go back-to-back Frenzy Plants. Apparently it is enough to take me out from that range, so there you go. So, not done well there. And the question is, so not seeing the fairy types, so 1 out of 5, so that's absolutely brutal. So let's claim that to 2145, we'll claim that and see how that goes, so down to 2116. So that's really poor, and my team's going to need to be changed. So I'm going to need to go back and have a look through. So I think the lead of Alolan Muk is very good, except for the issue that I'm having is Alolan Muk is good, but it also would be good in the end game. So, what to do? So I think Alolan Muk is going to be staying. I'm going to have to switch the rest of the team up. So I think Steelix is not pulling its weight. It's just not. I've seen a few grass types, so that's interesting. But I think maybe the meta team that is Cressula. So I could go Cressula, Registeel, and Giratina, which is super meta. But I don't know. So I think maybe Alolan Muk, Cressula, and Giratina is what I'm going to try next. So I probably will give that one a go, and we'll see how we go. So hopefully that was useful for someone. So like I said, obviously that went really poorly for me. Now's the time. Just jump in, get a match or two done, and then work out there from how you're going to develop your team, because you can do all the sort of team planning that you want, but you don't know until you get out there and get in amongst it. So a bit of variation that I was not expecting. So yeah, we'll have to see how that goes. So thanks very much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.